So I'm here reacting to Blackburn Rovers victory. Blackburn Rovers victory at Ewood Park. It's been a long time coming and we've really needed that. I unfortunately have not seen the goals yet, but I've heard all about it. Dolan was an integral part of the attack and it was a good, solid performance. We didn't have a lot of possession, but what they did do was control the game and limit Stoke. Stoke didn't have shots on target, according to the stats, and from what I saw in the second half. So it was a very good attacking display from Blackburn Rovers, the new Blackburn Rovers, the John Eustace Blackburn Rovers. So welcome, John Eustace, our new manager. Very happy about that. Yes, he's a young manager. Yes, he doesn't have a large CV, but what he did at Birmingham shows that there's a lot of promise. And I saw how he was on the touchline with the fans, and he was very hands-on, and he was very good from what I saw in terms of man management with the players. So I was very impressed. So we got the job done in the first half with a couple of Dolan goals, apparently, and a Smodix goal. So no surprise there, but very good for Dolan to get a couple of goals, and it just goes to show how much we miss Dolan, because when he's on his game, when he's really at it, he's such an important player for us, and he goes under the radar sometimes, and people think he overplays sometimes, and maybe he does, but when he gets it right, he's so effective. And he really attacks from the front. He presses from the front. He makes problems for the opposition. They can't handle him. And he got a couple of goals today, and fair play to him. And we really need him to sign that contract. He's so underrated, but he's so important. And there was an article that came out from Rich Sharp, which underlines how important he is. The results we had when he was in the team, and the results that we've had when he hasn't been in the team, and it's been like chalk and cheese. So he's just so important to us, and we need him to sign that contract. So Greg, I'm not blaming you entirely for the transfer window. I think it comes from above you, the problems. Steve Waggett. But so I'm not blaming you. But I think, you have to take a little bit of you have to take some responsibility, and you can do yourself a lot of good, in my eyes, if you talk Tyrese Dolan into signing a new long-term contract. So the future's bright. It's looking rosy now. I know it's just one win, but there was a lot of good stuff today. Gallagher put in a really good performance, and the whole team put in a good performance. And McFadzean was a rock at the back. How we've missed a player like that. He's like Andy Todd. He's like Ryan Nelson. He's like that gritty defender that digs in deep and puts the barricades up and battles you out of trouble. He's the kind of player we've been screaming out for. Tony Gale, Colin Hendry, David Batty type. So we need those type of players in this division, especially. We need those type of players, and we want to play good, attractive football, but you need solid foundations. And we didn't have solid foundations. And I feel like with McFadzean, we've got more of a solid we're more solid. We're so much more solid at the back. And I think he's the missing component, personally. And I think Fleck could be the missing component in midfield in terms of experience. So things are looking good for me. We've got the attacking players to score goals. Sigurdsson needs to raise his... Sigurdsson needs to join the party. Sigurdsson needs to be the player that we believe him to be. He supposedly had this pedigree. He's an international. He's done it in big games. So he needs to start doing it for us week in, week out. He needs to start scoring goals and contributing more, Sigurdsson. But we've got the attacking players. They can score goals. I believe they can, and they will, the way we play. So I don't think it's the end of the world that we didn't get Maguire. I hope that will be rekindled, and in the summer we do get Maguire. I mean, he looks like he's got all the attributes to be a top striker in the Championship. So I hope that does happen in the summer. But for now, I think we got more than enough to be out of...
Wow, what a breath of fresh air that was today, eh? 3 goals, all from players of football that we just would not have seen under John Dahl. And yeah, to be honest, if we're playing Stoke today against John Dahl, I think we lose that game 1-0 to a Nilannis winner. What would have been sickening, wouldn't it? But yeah, just so refreshing today to actually see a team playing to their strengths, to be quite honest. 2 Callum Britton crosses, utilising his main attribute in my eyes. He's such a good crosser of the ball. We saw that at times last season, even this season at the start of the season. He got a couple crosses into Leonard early on. But as of late, he just, it's almost like he's been completely told not to under John Dahl for whatever reason, but he can really cross a ball. And yeah, to pick Dolan out at the back post for the first one, and then for Find Hedges to nod it back across for Smodics, just superb from Britton. And he's had a really rough couple of months, Callum Britton, but it was good to see him come back in today and get us the 3 points. Really, he doesn't make those 2 crosses, we do not win today. It's as simple as that. And then the other goal coming from a big goal kick from Ainsley Pears up to Sam Gallagher. A flick on, using his head. Something he did improve under John Dahl, definitely being able to actually get onto the end of headers when it come to, big punts up to him. Maybe not so much in terms of actually scoring with his head, but definitely in terms of actually getting his head onto things when it's put up there to him. Yeah, brilliant flick onto Ty and does the business. And yeah, brilliant again from Tyrese Dolan. Greg, I can't remember his name now. The old Rovers reporter who's since moved on. I can't remember his name, unfortunately. But yeah, he's put a stat out just after following the game saying that 27 of our 33 points, something like that, have come with Tyrese Dolan starting in the team. And yeah, apparently that's 18 starts or something like that he's had this season. Just brilliant. Yeah, he's really been a breath of fresh air coming back, and so is Sam Gallagher, to be fair. Brilliant flick on, and didn't get a goal today, unfortunately for him. But yeah, he's come back and proved to be the real deal. And another goal for Smodics, what's always good. But equally at the back, just as impressive. I mean, it's an unlucky goal we concede. There's a block and then obviously it's a follow-up. Not really too much we could do about that, but how good was McFadden at the back today? Just an old school centre half, and his debut, and he's there with a bandage on his head at the end of the game. Summed him up really as a player, didn't it? To have the bandage on, it's really summed up his performance, and he looked quality today. Was protected by that back three. As commentary fans said when he signed, he would likely have to be in a back three. Just doesn't have the pace to kind of be in a back four. Needs that extra level of protection, but I think playing that back five today was brilliant. Allowed Britain to get further up the field, and he is such an attacking threat. Made much more sense in playing there than out on the left wing at times under John Dahl, what was chronic to see. And Hedges as well, who can put in a defensive shift. He's obviously a taller player. It was good to see him back as well. Didn't have the massive impact on the game. Obviously, he had the head back across for Smodics, got an assist, but other than that, didn't do too much of naught, I would say. But just a good game, really. And to have Joe Rankin Costello and Tronstad in midfield, two really solid, but also players that can play with the ball as well. I'm really hoping Joe can step up in that midfield position. It's just completely different feel and just completely different team as well today. Chris Ennan as well, I think he was decent today in that left centre half role. Just such a massive win. We really needed that off the back of 3 really disappointing home results against QPR, Rotherham and Huddersfield, where we should have been taking a minimum of 6 points in my opinion. And we only took 2. So it was a must win today. And thankfully, despite how it was looking a bit glum for us at half time, seeing Huddersfield 2-0 up and whatnot. I think QPR were also winning. I think the results have swung our way in the end, so we have actually distanced ourselves a little bit. So if we can go to Birmingham on Tuesday, get a draw, PNE away Saturday, get another draw, I think that'd be a really decent start for Eustace. And it was just great to see him come down to the touchline second half. He didn't have to. I do question if we were losing, would he have? But yeah, come down just in his polo shirt, no coat, no nothing, in this weather, what's not the nicest by any means up in Blackburn. And just so much passion there, and it's what we've needed as of late. JDT just completely lacked that, unfortunately. And as I say, the style of football today, those goals just do not come under JDT's management. And also at the back, just so much more solid. Weren't chasing after the ball like we usually do. Weren't afraid to just pump it long instead of playing it out from the back. The first goal kick we had, I think the players made a point of, it were looking like we were going to pass it round. And then Pears just told them all to get up the pitch. And then, there were ironic jeers from the crowd. But it's what we've been missing. It really is. And what I say from Ainsley Pears, by the way, I think he's been done down a lot. Obviously we had a great goalkeeper in Kaminski. But I do think under his time at Rovers, I genuinely do not remember him saving one penalty. So it was nice to actually see a penalty be saved. I cannot remember the last time that happened, in truth. So, a really good stop from Daniel Johnson, who's no mug when it comes to taking penalties. We know that from his time at PNE, and I remember one in particular when we were 2-0 up and absolutely capitulated, and I'm pretty sure his penalty was the second or third goal. Years ago now under Mowbray, that, but his run-up was too slow. I think he made it a bit easy for Pears, but he still had to make the save, and we managed to hold on to that 3-1 lead because they did come out well, Stoke. I think obviously that goal from just before half-time was a bit of a lifeline. They go in 3-0 down, it's a completely different feel, but they went in with a bit of hope, and thankfully we didn't give them too much following that penalty save. If that goes in, it's it's a completely different game. It could have quite easily been a 3-3 today. You could feel, or even a 4-3 bottling. but we just needed a bit of luck today for us to go that way like that, and thankfully we've got it, and then we're just getting that feel-good factor about the place again. Plenty of chances you could see on the vlog for Venky's and Wag It Out, but nothing towards the players. Obviously there was that crisis meeting on Tuesday, and the players saying about how, them in particular, apparently, that they're having to kind of diffuse fires at half-time in terms of telling the younger lads to ignore the boos instead of actually concentrating on the second half. Yeah, none of it is aimed towards the players. It is just frustrations with Waggett and his incompetency, with the signings, which may not fall directly on him, but just as a whole, I think he's done quite a poor job as CEO and really disenfranchised some fans, especially with the costings of tickets for quite a deprived area. And obviously the Venky's need to say no more regarding them. And obviously everything that's going on in India with the government and the financial restrictions, it's time to sell up. They clearly can't fund the club how they need to and how John Dahl wanted to, and if they had have funded the club, this season could have been very different. We could have been way up there with John Dahl, but I suppose we'll never know now. But yeah, I think that's enough of John Dahl talk. Onwards and upwards with Eustace. Really enjoyed that style of football today. Such a stark contrast to what we've been watching, and I personally prefer this style of football so much more. I'm just really not into the whole tiki-taka, trying to emulate Man City. Just not my style of football at all. Much rather see us playing with pace, playing on the counter, and just being tight and resolute at the back. Just hard to beat. That's where we have to start really as a team. Be hard to beat, and you'll start to get results. So yeah, on to Birmingham. Should be a really interesting one, with obviously it being Mowbray v Eustace against their former clubs. And then obviously PNE next Saturday, which I have made the choice I am going to after today's game. Under JDT, there weren't a chance I was going with his record against rival clubs and just obviously the recent form anyway. It just would have been really, really depressing. But after that today, I've been really encouraged. So I just hope there we can give a good account of ourselves at the very least. But I go there with hopes that we could potentially get a draw at least. So yeah, on to Birmingham. Won't be a vlog from me anyway for that one. But I shall be watching in some capacity, I hope. And then yeah, on to PNE after that, a big game. So yeah, a traumatic week in some ways, a very interesting week anyway, let's put it that way. But yeah, what a way to end the week, and hopefully we can just go from one strength to another now. Who says playoffs still aren't on? I mean, the signs there of a team today, definitely. Stranger things have happened. You look at Aston Villa years ago. I'm not saying it's going to happen for 1 second, but let's just try and get we're due a string of good results now after a string of really, really poor results. What saw us just outside the playoffs and fall to, the relegation scrap. So, let's wait and see, I suppose. Now that we're actually playing to our strengths as a team, who knows where it could take us.
Yo, 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 that's 3 points, bitches! Alright! Give me those points, baby! Haven't seen this in a while. That's right, the Rovers are back, better than ever. Blackburn, baby, we're on our way. Trains are back on the track. And Eustace now on his way to the Brummies on Tuesday to take down his previous team there up against none other than Mowbray. It is a meetup of the minds there. Mowbray, Eustace, Tuesday. Be there, be ready. New manager bounce in full ignition here, and we've lift off. Guys, King Tyrese, we need to, gotta put my belt on here. We need to anoint Tyrese a 2-goal hero. Straight, he's starting, and I saw Rich Sharp there with a big stat there with Tyrese in the starting lineup. The Rovers are going to be doing good things, and they are collecting the points under Tyrese. And of course, another Sammy Smotage, league leading goal scorer in the championship there, goal today. So yes, off to the races. Here we do it, 3-1. But gotta tip the hat, of course, to the man between the sticks, Pears. That's right. You know, Stoke there tried to do some business over the transfer window in between the sticks themselves, and it didn't work out for them because Iverson, he is not the answer there, guys, for Stoke, because they gave up 3 today, getting him on loan there from the Foxes, and it didn't work out, didn't pan out. The Rovers take advantage today with very little ball possession today. I think it was 37%, but yes, Rovers back, new manager bounce again. So long, JDT. It was fun, whatever, but we won today. We're glad. We're good to see it. Wag it out. Put that in there. We saw it all around the stands today. Wag it out. Say it loud. Say it proud. Be with Philly Rovers. On to Tuesday, guys. Till then, 3 points. Celebrate it. Own it. Have a great weekend. I know I will. Peace out, guys. Later on.